And then we were with some of our other friends. We were in the Poconos over spring break. I remember you going, crazy with the cooking, making all kinds of stuff, expert level, elite level skills.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. But tell me how you got into that and like where you became so good. How you became so good at cooking.
Yeah. So I took a gap year. As I mentioned, I had a lot of immune system issues, and like I just physically was like not well enough to go to school. So I'm like older than people in our grade, and like I took a year off. All of my friends went off to college, so I was like at home like alone, right? And I just didn't have much to do, honestly. And I got really, really into cooking because I was just bored and wanted to, just like experiment with things. Like at the same time I was dealing with my like physical like illnesses, I was like, all right, let me just see what foods like make me feel good, So I became a vegan. And I started experimenting with different recipes, like watching YouTube videos. I would make like homemade almond milk and then like homemade pasta and like just make vegan pasta. I just a lot of different vegan recipes. So I played around with that, and then I just realized veganism was too hard. So I just, practiced, did a lot of, it was just my gap year, like just having the time to just do it. So I just did it. So I'd cook a lot for my family. I started cooking when I was like a little kid. Like I started cooking like Christmas and Thanksgiving dinner as a middle schooler, just for my family.
Wow.
Just to do it, And then I got really, really good during my gap year. But, I really like to cook for my family, and like I like to cook for my partners and my friends. So yeah, the Poconos, it was a nice opportunity because Philadelphia, like our dorms, we don't have kitchens. So it's, we don't have the opportunity to cook often. But when I was at Poconos, the kitchen was fully stocked. Like I had people to cook for. A lot of times when I cook, there's like not a lot of people to cook for anyways, because like I'm not back home, and I guess I could cook here, but it's just difficult here. Yeah. But like I like cooking and having people eat my food, So it was nice having a bunch of like 14 hungry college students that eat dining hall food for a living, like eating real food for once. It was nice, it was rewarding. Yeah. And I just, I really like being in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeding the mouths of the hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you get like, cause I don't cook a ton, but do you get like some sort of satisfaction when you make a meal and everyone enjoys it? Or is it just like, this is just go, or do you just not care? Like
I love it. Okay. I love seeing how people react when my food like touches their tongues, like, cause it's different. Like, so I made like homemade Pop-Tarts, right? Like from scratch. Homemade puff pastry, homemade jam, homemade frosting, homemade everything.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. And like it's like very laborious work, but like I've nailed it down to a T where I know how to do it the most efficient way. But I also know what ingredients to use and like the best processes to make the food taste good. And like, I don't know, Pop-Tarts gonna suck, like if you buy it from a package. Or even go to the bakery, like people use different types of crust and it's just not the same. But I've just like made Pop-Tarts for so long. Like during quarantine, I would make these Pop-Tarts and sell them. Like I would just sell them. $5 a pop. And people would just eat them up. Like people in my hometown, they would just eat it up. So I made it again during Poconos, and like people just really enjoyed it. And I like feeding people. Like I it's kind of like a love language of mine. Like I grew up, like my mom would make sure that I'm well fed. Like I don't know, that's just how I show my love. So it's nice when people try my food and they like it. And if they don't like it, they tell me what to do to make it better. But I like to pride myself on my cooking and like sharing that with people. I do like sharing a lot.
That's cool. Sharing is caring. That's what they say. Yeah, so
exactly.
What do you think is your main field of expertise within cooking? Like, are you elite at meats, elite at desserts like Pop-Tarts? Like, what's your forte?
Let me think. I do think I'm pretty good at grilling. I mean, I'm vegetarian, but like I always work the grill whenever we have barbecues because I know when the meat's done. I can tell. I know how to flavor things. But I mean, I like to think that I'm pretty good at baking. I don't bake bread though. I don't make bread often. I'm not really good with like foods that require yeast. But like I'd like to think that I'd make pretty good cakes, Pop-Tarts, pastries. I also like to make sushi, like vegetarian sushi. I don't know. I just like to do what I can. I cook for Thanksgiving. I cook for Christmas. Like the average like American meal: mashed potatoes, turkey, cranberry sauce, pies. Aside from that, yeah, I think I'd say I'm more of like a jack of all trades than a specialist when it comes to baking or just cooking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you're listing all those foods. I was like, oh, basically you're good at making anything because like you went through everything.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
You're nice with it. We're just trying to get like you at this point. We're just trying to get like you. So
you get there. Just take a gap year.
Yeah, for real.
No, fine. I do like to think I'd make some mean tofu. Like I know how to make tofu.
I tried your tofu. It was good. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
The spring roll and all that.
Yeah,
that
like cut it up, put some cornstarch on it with like a bunch of seasonings, fry it for a bit, eat it with the spring roll. It was really good.
I'm not even a big tofu person. When I had that tofu, I was like,
it's different.
Yeah.
See, the key ingredient, it's a Vietnamese thing. It was an Asian thing. It's you get mushroom. So it's like they sell in the store. It's like mushroom, right? And they dehydrate it and they grind it up into a powder. So it's like mushroom seasoning. It's basically MSG. Honestly, it's MSG. But like it's delicious. And MSG's not even bad like that.
Yeah. MSG, what's that?
MSG, I don't know. It's like a type of salt, but like it was a whole controversy like, oh, like, MSG is bad for you. MSG is bad for you. Like don't eat it. It gives me headaches. But like a lot of Chinese restaurants, a lot of Asian restaurants use MSG. So there's this rhetoric in like the cooking world where it's like, oh, MSG is just terrible for you. Like I don't want to eat at this Chinese restaurant because like they have MSG. But like a lot of foods just have MSG. Like Ruffles have MSG. Like a lot of chips have MSG. A lot of just foods out there just have MSG, right? And it's just like a type of umami flavor it's very similar to salt. Like I don't know the chemical makeup of it, but it's like basically salt. It's a type of salt, I guess. You correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it adds like a deep flavor to it. Like it just tastes different. Yeah.
I got you. You know, I mean, you're familiar with all the terms, so I wasn't like well versed in that, but you know, appreciate you for educating me on MSG. I thought because when you say MSG, the first thing I think of is Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah.
Like, people are putting New York in their food, like.